Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari. So we have Zoom also going on here in case anybody wants to get on the Zoom. Maybe not too many people here.
Oh no, not.
Okay,
I was just
yeah.
turning the sound down.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so if anybody wants to do the Zoom also, you can come on here and try that, or try to get used to that, because we might be using this sometime. I think it'd be valuable. It's very nice to have the devotees here in interaction. Otherwise, it's some weird shit, man. It's like being robots too much, you know. We need some interaction, man. So get savvy a little bit. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gora Bhaktivinda Nityananda 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 Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Yeah, take it. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Do you know how to do that? Maybe I'll show you how to do your
I thought I'd done it.
Yeah, you've done it, you know?
I thought I'd done it.
Just go up here. And let's see, probably on this one over here. Do not disturb. Yeah, just put that, highlight that.
Oh, okay. I've got it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And the other phone probably is the same thing.
Yeah.
More or less, depends. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So anybody else, if you want to go on the Zoom, the link is on my page, on my timeline.
Can we have a curtain? I feel like falling asleep.
Do you like falling asleep? Okay, yeah, well, it's your time now.
Yeah.
Cold is here, all right. Kirtan time. Hey, Cole, welcome.
Hey, Cole, not dimensional.
Hold your ears. There, I'll lower it next time. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, Hare Krishna. Are you ready?
Prabhu
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Alright, go Ganga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Here we go. Are you ready for our favorite? Krishna, Govinda, Nityananda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
All right, here we go. A nice little feel-good rock Krishna song. Are you ready? Here we go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh, there she made the trip. That's really nice. Are you ready? All right, let's trance it out, man. Get up there and dance, Mary. Mary Sachi, get up there and dance. Just gotta dance. Dance, Mary, dance. She can't hear. Can you guys hear? Yeah, they can hear. It's your thing, man. It's yours. Mary. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, you guys can join the Zoom again if you got off Zoom. We're back on. I think you can use the same link. See if you can use the same link. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. No? Oh. Okay, I've got to give a new link. New Zoom link coming up. Hot off the press. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, you can join Zoom anytime you want. Just go to my page. You'll find it there. First link, not the second link. The first Zoom link up there now. Just put it up. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gauranga Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh Lord, Lord, you are worthy, you are worthy. Of course you're worthy, we know that. We don't have to tell you. And you make us worthy, which is really nice. Isn't that nice gift of Jesus and Lord Chaitanya? They make us worthy for the kingdom of God just because they are magnanimous and munificent and gift givers and boon givers, and they free us into eternal life. Even here we can taste the bliss, taste the ecstasy forever. Are you ready? The name of Krishna, Jesus, Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Gauranga Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, the most merciful incarnations of this age of Kali, here to deliver the people Prema Bhakti again in revival for our survival and the new world order of ecstatic love of God, to replace the old and the system that we don't want in here. Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, yeah. Hare Krishna, wow, look at that. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Gauranga, give us your bliss, give us your bliss, blissful Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga,
Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga,
Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga, Nityananda Gauranga.
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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Be creative. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
eternally with us forever. He gives himself and liberates all the conditioned souls in this universe. In this Kali Yuga, it is beyond salvation, beyond liberation would be. Chant the holy name in ecstatic prema bhakti, bliss, ecstasy, conclusive truth, the real path back to the kingdom of bliss of Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Gauranga,
Hare
holy name that brings bliss and ecstasy here to this world of birth and death, and liberates all souls here for eternal life into the kingdom of God, the place beyond the heaven and earth. The Word of God, conclusive truth, is the flight path that leads to Vrindavan. Krishna, the name of Krishna, attachment to the name, attachment to ecstatically chanting this name is the key to the kingdom of God, the kingdom of Vrindavan. Let us, everybody, chant the holy name and develop prema bhakti very easily. Receive the gift of prema bhakti. Again revived after 500 long years. Drugs. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Sri Vasari, Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Right.
Cole looks like he's going to jump out the screen.
Yeah. That shirt there. Okay. All right. Wasn't that fun?
Whoa. Whoa. Oh, wow.
Okay, guys.
Wow.
Yes. You were muted there, so I didn't hear you. Okay. All right. Where's my,
Ah.
oh, there it is. Okay,
All
I'll
right.
put that over here. All right.
Okay, do you want that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Who's that?
Okay, so why don't we read a little bit here. Something.
Oh, muddy.
So let's read chapter 4, chapter 3 or 4, yeah, chapter 4, the confidential reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. I like the word confidential, don't you?
Yes.
Intimacy, confidential. Essence of truth, all these kind of things. Bliss, ecstasy, none. What else do we need? Okay, so let's like here. You can sit here. Probably then you can sit here probably a little bit. Musical chairs. Yeah. Isn't it nice? Big fun. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is where it's headed, man. Having fun serving Krishna. Can you imagine you make Krishna happy just by being his friend? Isn't that a concept? No big discipline. You just hang out with him. Okay, so let's see here. Text 1. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Krishna. Move your chair a little here so I can get in the camera here. A little bit more. There you go.
Just move this.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. There, that's good. Perfect. Okay. By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna. The enjoyer of the pastimes of Raj, according to the vision of the revealed scriptures. That's another Bhagavad Gita 10:10 in a different way. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, which is ecstatic devotion, which he had, right? His mercy. He said he came to give prema bhakti. Even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Krishna. See, I give the real truth, real knowledge, real understanding. You need to find your way. See, and because finding one's way back home again is simply developing this urge and this attraction to chanting the name and the pastimes and qualities of the Lord. That's the path. You know, I read that today in 12th Canto. It was really nice to see it there. Yeah, see, I can find it too. Let's see. I'll do another tab here. Okay, well, so switch to there and to here. Yeah, 12th Canto is really nice on the section on 12. Let's see here. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama, Oh, is that it? Can't tell.
Not the book.
No, I don't know.
No.
Yes. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Bhakti Yoga. Yes. Yeah, see, so this is a chapter in Bhakti Yoga. Beautiful verse here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think it was 8 years. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Running out of time. Uh-oh. It says I'm running, it says I'm running out of time. There you go.
Can't you extend it?
Yeah. Well, but I can start a new one right after this. You just have to click on the link again. So I'll send the link to my page again. It'll be a new link, and you just click it and you're back on. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I can't find it. So it was a nice gesture. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all glories. Oh well, let's see. Yeah. So the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child, can fully describe the nature of Lord Krishna. So we need to get that mercy of Lord Chaitanya, which is this prema. See, and then we can describe the real Krishna, because you when you read these verses, you taste them now, and you get revelation on these things. See, and the real nature of Lord Krishna, which is what? Nature is bliss, conclusiveness. See? That's the real nature of Lord Krishna. Otherwise, you're not describing the real nature of Krishna just by, if you don't have ecstatic devotion, this prema, then when you describe this, you don't describe the real nature of Krishna. His nature is blissful. His nature is conclusive. You describe that. See, you notice that? You cannot, nobody can describe these things properly unless they are tasting these verses. So, I have described the meaning of the 4th verse. Now, O devotees, kindly hear the explanation of the 5th verse. I just to explain the original verse, I shall suggest its meaning. I have given the essential meaning of the 4th verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Okay? So that's actually his external reason. So although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear another reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. See, you ever see devotees, they say, yeah, let's go out in Sankirtan and make devotees. You know, it's like, yeah, let's go out and make devotees. See, to go out and do Sankirtan. And see, the thing is, but you can't spread love. You might even think, well, we'll spread love of God. See, but no, this is not the way it works. You you really, to do this right, you have to do it for this, with this confidential reason here, coming up here. So, although this is true, this is but the external reason. Okay, the scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. Okay, what was the burden of the earth? The demons. Huh?
He said irreligion.
Religion was the burden?
Irreligion.
Oh, irreligion. Yeah, the burden were demons. Irreligious. What is that? Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to start a new one here because this is going to go off anyway. That way I can get recorded again. So I'll start a new one and just look for the link. is this? Another meaning. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, the new link is on now. Okay, it's on now if anybody wants to come, we're up again. Okay, yeah. So to take away the burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the maintainer. Lord Vishnu is the one who protects the universe. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time of Lord Krishna's incarnation. Oh. Yeah, get him, okay. We gotta do one other thing here. There we go. Yeah. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time of Lord Krishna's incarnation. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together with him. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together with him. Lord Narayan, the four primary expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, Matsya, and other Leela incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manvantar incarnations, and as many other incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, appears. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna kills the demons through him. Thus, the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak the main reason for the Lord's incarnation. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. See, he wanted to taste. Why? Because he saw Radharani tasting this essence of mellows of love of God. Well, he also does it, but he wanted to taste that. See, that's why he appeared as Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to taste in her position, because it's a very high taste. So, so he became a Raganuga Bhakta simply by seeing Radharani taste his beauty and sweetness and her happiness and her tasting that. See, it made him desire to come and do that in her position. to become basically a devotee of himself. Okay? And this is how he spread Sankirtan, by tasting this bhakti. Okay? And then people saw it and said, yeah, man, you know, this looks pretty good. This looks amazing. You know, first it took a while for people to wrap their head around it, you know, and see that it was not crazy or insane. But by and by, people began to accept it. Just like here, you notice people are accepting. You know, we got 20 people today. We had up to 46, I think, today. Okay. People, by and by, begin to accept it because, you know, after a while you see people like day after day. I mean, you know, who does this? It's kind of uncommon, isn't it?
Yes. It's right. It's right.
Where do you see, you know, and people, you know, they notice things. Years now, and people advancing in spiritual life effortlessly, having big smiles on their face and start laughing. And after a while, it's like, wow, see, I want to taste that sweet essence of those mellows that make you happy also. Because that's what's happening here. They're, you know, they're hearing and tasting through their ears, and also when they speak, they're tasting in their mouth and the ears. And it puts a big smile on your face. Smiling is one of the first devotional symptoms, is smiling. If you're a devotee of Krishna and you're not smiling after 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, and you get classes and stuff like that, and you're a guru and all this stuff, that means you and your followers don't know what real Krishna consciousness is yet. See? It's about tasting these mellows. Hey, man, wake up. Sleeping souls, Jeev Jago. You know? If you're not like this, laughing when you hear conclusive truth, that's my thing. She uses, you know, usually hear bells do. This conclusive, when it's conclusive, I get a good laugh here. That's Krishna inside. You can't just do it. You show me anybody laugh. You try this. Anybody. I want to see you just laugh like this, just consistently. You know. Well, maybe Lalita Ganga can. And Johan. They're special cases. But you can be a special case too. You too there. You want to be a special case? Jump back in the frying pan, man. Yeah, so that's the essence, man. You know, the essence. So basically, he came to set an example, and that's how this parampara is spread. It came from Lord Chaitanya, and it's meant to be spread like he did, and Nityananda did, and Advaita did, by tasting these mellows. And speaking, opening your mouth, cutting some jokes, you know, using some gada, you know, clubbing, whatever, you know, pastime of freeing the sleeping souls. Yeah, so thus killing the demons was secondary work. Why does that need to be done? And you notice in this incarnation, he didn't do it by killing bodies of demons as Lord Chaitanya. And we don't either. It's killing the ignorance. You know, killing the ignorance, destroying ignorance. You have to use some word for that. Or eliminating. See, it's all about, and it's a good thing. Destroying ignorance, eliminating ignorance, you know, getting rid of it. See, it's ignorance. And how do you do that? With the truth. Didn't Jesus say the truth will set you free? Yes or no? It's just like he's in the room. I point at him, he says, oh, it's me. He's pointing at me.
Who's that?
Karuna. He's sitting like a very good student. I can keep an eye on him. Sit up properly. Yeah, isn't that great, man? You know, it's that simple. And so this is the highest platform of devotional service, is to taste prema. to taste these verses, right? Yeah, and if you don't do that after 1 year, 10 years, 20 years in ISKCON or any other group you're doing, then if you learn here, what we're teaching is, all you have to do is hang around devotees like here that are tasting this ras, and you will begin to taste it also. You know, and you might have to kill a few demons inside. But that's a good thing, isn't it? After a while, what's good about it. Hey, what's good about it is the demons inside. You after getting, the Lord says, I'm going to give you some taste here, and then you're going to get sick of these demons running your life inside. Pushing you around all the time, making you miserable. Always in suffering, and if you he never left. Of course, that's why you're here. I like this Zoom. This is great, and I can keep an eye on Shama Sundari. Make sure she doesn't jump off the bus. She's dancing too. All right. Karuna did a good invitation. So the Lord. So good. I want to hear that. This verse is superb. Really nice. Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. The sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. And he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous affection. So the only way you can do that is by tasting. It's literal. He wanted to taste these mellows and simultaneously spread devotional service on the platform of spontaneous attraction. See, that's why he said he wanted to give the gift of prema bhakti. Okay? But you can't give that gift unless you can taste these mellows. I was tasting these things for years, and then Prabhupada came and said, spread it, taste it, and publicly. Okay? And look what happened after a few years. We got a lot of mellow tasters. Hey, look at that.
Who's that?
I think that's his daughter. Is that your daughter?
No.
Your friend? Who is that? There, Nicole?
He's at his workplace.
Oh, his workplace. Okay. So he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous devotion. So thus he is known as supremely jubilant and the most merciful of all. See, now this is very significant, this sentence. It means a lot. What does it mean? I've spoken about this so many times. Let's see if you have memories. Okay. Thus he is known as supremely jubilant and the most merciful of all. What is the significance of this verse? This sentence? We'll even let Shama in on it. Well, first we'll ask her, and then him. I want to see if they've been listening, and then we'll ask Shama if they can answer.
What is jubilant mean? I forgot. What does jubilant mean?
Oh, it means it really
Great.
happy.
Great.
No, happy, really happy.
He's really happy and he gives the greatest mercy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Think about it.
He is considered the most jubilant and the most merciful of all.
It's Krishna.
Why?
Because he's the original and he's created everything and he can give us everything, what we need and take away what we can't.
Why is he the most merciful of all?
Because he's... Are we talking about Krishna or Lord Chaitanya?
Lord Chaitanya.
Because he's the most, because he's Radha and Krishna together, because Krishna is eternally separated, and after all
It's
of
too
these
complicated.
yugas, after all of these yugas, he's back together again with Radha and Krishna. And with Inge.
You want to try?
He came to give his transcendental body just to anyone, just through favourability. That's it. Anyone.
Yeah, that's the See, there was no other incarnation. So you got to cross that with these other incarnations. None of them did that. None of them gave this kind of bhakti, this prema, to this degree and extent, other than Lord Chaitanya and those who received that mercy. See? So, now, jubilant. Why does that fit in there? Very important reason. And I'll give you a hint. It's in the first part. The Lord's desire to appear was born of 2 reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. Okay? So people have to see this jubilation. See? You have to see a devotee relishing mellows and how happy they are. See? And then they ask for it. It's like, yeah. What, you teach this? Yeah, we teach this. How to taste the sweet mellows. See, this is like witnesses. The witnesses are, you start to do this. After a while, people start to, like, wow, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm just tasting these mellows of these verses and then mantra, and it makes me really jubilant, really happy. See? And then you become very merciful, most merciful of all devotees. If you cannot taste these mellows, if you cannot taste these mellows, then you will not be that jubilant. You'll be, if you taste the mellows of, say, like material mellows, you'll be jubilant, but it's material. And then you'll also, if you're in separation from what has made you jubilant materially, you'll feel kind of a painful ras of separation. Okay, so he's the most jubilant and the most merciful of all, because people saw, wow, he's really happy tasting these mellows, and so merciful that he said, oh, well, you want to do it, just hang out with us, hang out with his group of people, and they very quickly got this prema bhakti. Just like here, just hang out with our little group, chant with us, hear the Bhagavatam, and go through the purification. Get Lord Vishnu will just come. Don't worry, he's the gardener. He'll jump in there in his Vishnu form with 4 hands and sometimes 8. You never know, and start clobbering all those little demons inside. Get rid of them. Exorcise them. Exhort them. Get them out. Okay? Yeah, it's a beautiful path. Yeah. So people generally now, see, the Lord is, we're doing what's quite unusual. It's kind of like on the level what Jesus did and his disciplic line. They have a lot of work with exorcising demons because they're inside. And the power of God does that. And that's working here also. See? And because it's an incidental activity. It has to, it's like, oh yeah, it has to be done. Because how can you make room for this bhakti and this transcendental awakening? It has to come out. Okay? Very important. And that's why Vaishnavas will not progress very much in this life as Vaidhi Bhaktas until they meet this kind of Shikya Guru who has this authority and power to do this. Otherwise it cannot. How are you going to do this? This is why when I see Vaishnavas, I see, they still got all this stuff inside. It's like they're walking container. They can't get rid of it. You can't chant it away and repress it away, push it in more. You're carrying it around. The devotees in Vaishnavism have to mature to the place where they can deal with this and realize the difference between spirit and matter. And most can't. Most believe this stuff is inside, is who they want to follow, even as Vaishnavas. They still identify with that. So when those persons are ready, when they've done enough, whatever, and by good fortune, they'll associate with a devotee who'll bring them to the next platform. And otherwise there's no viable way to make any real progress. Really. Look around, man. I mean, look around. I mean, if you can see, I don't know. A lot of people can't see. They can't even see what the government. The government's is completely screwing them. Completely, man. The government's completely scamming everybody. It's like so. Like, can you see it?
Yeah,
Complete scam, right in front of everybody. You see? And in religion, it's the same thing. People, they don't understand why Lord Chaitanya came. And you're being scammed by many gurus. Started after Bhaktisiddhanta left, people started to get scammed, and then Prabhupada was here, somebody that was really, advanced devotee with real bhakti, and then he tried to, continue everything, and he did. And then the scam came out again. People tried to imitate Prabhupada's position of being a spiritual master, like of that exalted stature. And he never liked that. He said, hey man, my guru, when he left, didn't appoint anybody acharya. He would have mentioned something. But they, without proper understanding and authority, voted them in. And after Prabhupada did, they just hook or crook and did the same thing. So anyway, that's why things are the way they are after so long. See, Prabhupada said it would have been better if people would have just continued the mission with his guru. Just continue the mission. Don't artificially appoint acharyas, because that just destroyed everything. Everybody started the fighting and all that stuff. And it kept it mundane. Okay? They should have just waited for the real acharya. But what are you going to do? That happens sometimes for generations. So another generation comes. Prabhupada was bona fide. He saw, okay, only Vaidhi Bhakti again. He was inspired to write these books. He knew somebody would come along. Confirmed somebody was going to come along. I wonder who that is. Somebody's going to come along and do what is necessary to bring the Krishna consciousness movement in a progressive stage, to the next level. To the level of Chaitanya Charitamrita. To the level of this verse, man. See, he came to taste the mellows of love of God. Therefore, if a person's in the real line, and not the Abbas line, they're going to be tasting the mellows of chanting Hare Krishna and ecstatically reading these verses, and they will simultaneously propagate devotional service on the platform of spontaneous attraction. You notice that going on here? Are we in line with Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago, or what? Yeah. Isn't spontaneous devotional service being spread, being accepted?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is the next stage. Who's ready for it? Who wants this? Otherwise it'll pass you by this life, and then anyway, if you made it to Vaidhi Bhakti, that's great, and you're following rules and regulations, that's nice. But I listen to gurus even, and I say, my God, they're still plugging along. Not much change other than they, got a sannyasi thing and many disciples who, what mercy. Unless you can relish these verses and relish the holy name, you'll have some substance and realization. The Lord will say, oh yeah, tell him this, like this, give him a good whack. Yeah, see? So, and that he was supremely jubilant, because if you're if you're qualified to spread love of God, people got to see that you're an ecstatic devotee, man, and you're blissed out of your mind. Literally, out of your mind. Blissed out of your mind. Because if you're still on the platform, the mental platform, you're not a representative of the blissful Krishna, transcendentally blissful Krishna. Okay? You got to be blissed out of the mind. See, now you don't take shelter of the mind. That's why you surpass the
that obligation to follow rules and regulations, because you follow, you're deeper than the mind now in your rest. In your consciousness is situated in ecstatic bliss. That's your rest, not the mind, not the rules. The rules are on the mental plane, right? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to lose this. Where is that fucking thing? I got seconds. Pull that thing out. There we go. Got seconds to do this mission. Let's see if we can catch it.
We're alright.
Maybe I'll keep. Yeah, it shouldn't work. Save the day. Thank you. There. Battery is going out. So Lord Krishna thought, all the world is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. So see, it's like you notice devotees there, they worship the Lord in awe and reverence, very reverent, they go to the temples, but their happiness is not excessive, doesn't stand out. So the love is saying, because the deeper your ecstatic intimacy with worship of God is, the more jubilant you get, the more ecstatic, the more it shows, you start to shine. See? So the Lord is saying, in other words, see, the Lord is experiencing happiness in you and through you. Okay? So if your happiness is on the platform of spirit level, then that's going to show in your happiness. You're going to see, and this is what devotees, we have to learn to look like this. You have to look at devotees and see how are they situated in this kind of unusual state of consciousness, of bliss and ecstasy. Do they spontaneously sometimes laugh and cry, and choke up when they're worshiping God? This is intimacy. It's very attractive, actually, and you shouldn't have any fear if you hear it explained right. See? Because it's why the Lord came here, was to give this transcendental way of worshiping God on a spontaneous platform. His reason for coming was first and foremost to taste it. Because if you can't taste this, you cannot spread it or preach a devotional service on the platform spontaneously. Because you got to do it like he did it. And then it'll work. So in whatever transcendental, if one regards me as a supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I didn't get, I'm going to do the more of that verse. All the universe is filled with a conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty doesn't satisfy me. See? So, when you see a devotee worshiping the Lord on the level of spontaneous love, you'll see these symptoms of this laughing, crying, choking up, hair standing on end, tears, excessive tears coming like this, and intoxication. It's a transcendental intoxication. Okay? That's the Lord. That's what satisfies the Lord. Wasn't Krishna kind of like that in Vrindavan? The devotees, kind of their clothes are all rumpled, and they just, see? That's the highest satisfaction of the Lord. He wants to give that to the devotees. They just need to learn about this and that it's a good thing, and it's not bad. It's what the Lord came to give. That's called prema bhakti. Those symptoms. Chapter 23 of Adi Lila. All right, so that's, I think, good enough for me here. Now we'll let these two read a little bit more. You want to read a little more? Yeah. Okay. And then, there's two things when this is finished here. You just
just go like here with the mouse or like with that pad. You know how to do the pad? Yeah. Just click on stop recording, and then oh yeah, and then end.
Okay.
Okay, and then you know that one. Okay, stop. Remember, stop recording, and then end. Actually, yeah. Either if you forget it, don't worry. Just end it, and it'll automatically do it. I think. Okay. All right. Oops. Hare Krishna. All right.
I'm just looking for a verse. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
That's the best English I've ever heard you speak, Johan. Sorry the Sandman throw dust in my eyes, have to rest. Where did that one come from? I can understand everything you said in that.
Everybody's commenting.
Fantastic.
Hare
Fantastic.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Oh yeah. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the more merciful than Krishna himself. Because Lord Krishna says, surrender unto me.
Yeah, another thought is, if you want, the shopping thing. How do you feel? You want to leave that for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord Krishna says, surrender to me, I'll deliver you. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee. And gave love for Radha Krishna very easily, simple by chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Can I have this water?
Yeah.
And helping others desiring to surrender to Krishna, simply by helping them to desire to taste the spontaneous merge, transcendental, unalloyed devotion, static bliss. Back to time. I do. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Pradipare. This is it, the ability to see. Oh yeah. Everything's very clear. Guru's mercy. Back to that booth. See very clearly. A woman is more merciful than a man, so this mercy is from God.
That's why I think feel that when that Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful incarnation, because Radha and Krishna are together, and that is true. That statement is true. I'm just going to read these verses to just back up what Guru Maharaj was talking about, how Krishna wants us to be, and how he wants us to be. So this is from the Adi Leela. It's I can't remember the name of the chapter 4, but I can't remember the name of the chapter. Okay, so this is text 18 to 20. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as his subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotees worship me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So it's like in Raganuga Bhakti, and like with in Vrindavan with the cowherd boys, and how Lord Chaitanya had that kind of really fun relationship, and some of the cowherd boys would say, yeah, who do you think you are, Krishna? Really in a different way, not in those words. And that is what really Krishna loves. He loves being challenged by his devotees, and he loves, even with even with Radharani and the gopis, you know, he loved that kind of, you know, that the mellows, that mardiness and that wanting, you know, that being jealous and all of those things, you know, that kind of, those kind of mellows instead of material mellows. That's what he really, really, I mean, I've been finding that really kind of difficult to turn my head around, but it's easy. It's kind of easier now because I'm experiencing it. So when I do feel, and the other ladies have said this as well, you know, when we feel jealous of other devotees, it actually, Krishna likes that. He likes that, and and if you don't show your jealousy, if you do not show your jealousy and admit it, you won't get the rewards that he will give you, and he will give you huge rewards. Now in material way, when we get jealous, you know, usually we get envious, we don't want to speak to that person, you know, we're jealous of, and we have this wrath with them, which is actually painful. I think the material one is quite painful, but when it comes to the spiritual one, you know, it's beautiful, because he rewards you even more than the person you're jealous of, you know, and it's amazing. And I read that today in the Krishna book, with Krishna's talks with Rukmini, but to add to that experience that we experience, that the ladies have experienced, well, everybody I think in the Sangha have experienced, you know, this kind of jealousy, but we have to ride it out, let it play out, and now it's not in a way that's kind of disturbing and, you know, childish and material. It's spiritual, and it comes out. And now I see it by going through this pattern of purification so many times. What's going to come? What's going to come is Krishna, just, you know, because you're letting it out, you're going through it, even though, and the greatest thing about it is you withdraw from the outside world out there, and you have no choice but to go in and to stay with it. And if you do stay with it, you really do stay with these things, it's really deep purification that will remove, it will make more room for Krishna, for Prema Bhakti. It will make more room for that, because he's pushing out, even though it's intense, you're not going back out there, you're going inside, and you're not covering it over again, and it's pushing it out. Like Lalita said to me the other day about just, you know, something's going on, Krishna's just pushing out all of my demons with his elbows. So to all of us, to me, to keep going through these purifications, as much as we're used to running away from them, know it, because when we don't know we're running away from, others can see it, that this is what we do. And I want to be told when I'm doing that, and I do get told by Guru Maharaj all the time, and by when I talk to the devotees, Lalita. And it's amazing, because you've seen my journey, and look, this is what's happening. So much stuff has just been coming out, and I'm not able to run away, because, and it's not worth running away anymore. You just got to go with it, because it works. Lord Chaitanya did this. It really, really works. So with that, you know, not being that kind of rules and regulations kind of person, you don't get this, and you won't receive the Lord, you know, wherever you are, in however much of the Lord is awakened, I don't know, in others, but you will not go any further unless you go through these emotions, because they turn into spiritual jealousies and spiritual anger, and even the purification. And these are Guru Maharaj's words as well, but now I experience that it's different. It's really, really, really different. And I'm all for one for going through and spiritual, through purification, to see that transition of them becoming spiritual. And that is the best thing. And whilst, yes, that's it. That's all I was going to say. So to go through those things, it's the best thing. It's the greatest thing, and I love it. So do you want to read, unless anybody's saying anything else?
Oh, you can read if you want. You read.
No, I've spoken. You read, and then I read after you.
Oh, no. Everybody reading from.
Okay. We'll just follow on from, unless you want to read something else, just follow on from where Guru Maharaj. I don't know which one he left on.
Okay.
Oh,
There,
I
there.
think that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the universe is filled with conception of my mercy, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. Yeah, we did. I've gone a little bit because we did do these. Devotional service rendered to me by the living being revives their eternal life. O my dear damsels of Raja, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it is the only means by which you have obtained my favour. Mother sometimes by me as a son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me utterly helpless. You are too tired to say anything, I think, but if you want to say anything, you get this
I'm
realisation.
sorry, I didn't understand that.
If you want to say anything, just stop me. Or,
Okay.
So
Well, I'll probably laugh. I'll do
I
it.
don't think I can actually say anything or anything. My friend climbs on my shoulders in pure friendship, saying, "What kind of big man are you? You and I are equal." If my beloved consort reproaches me in a sulky mood, that steals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. Taking these pure devotees with me, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even in Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes for which even I'm amazed. The influence of Yoga Maya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this, for our minds will always be entranced by one another's beauty and qualities. That's really sweet, isn't it? All the devotees' qualities, that's what springs, realise there.
He does.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Lord Chaitanya knows the qualities of all the devotees.
Yeah.
However, little or he knows them, the ones that are so sincere, it's so beautiful. And he uplifts those qualities. He lifts those qualities that Guru Maharaj does with us. He encourages us with our qualities. It's so, yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to be able to not be robots here in 2020. We're not going to be robots. Develop spontaneous qualities, and Guru Maharaj really helps us to develop them, doesn't he? He's very kind and he knows the qualities and how
So
to
kind.
bring it. He's really kind, unbelievably kind.
And compassionate.
Even to when he's cooking, he always makes sure others have got, doesn't he?
He
In
cooks for us every day.
single way, Guru Maharaj is so compassionate, kind.
Oh God.
And also just to say there that I like that Gradadhar, because it talks about in his pastimes that he loves the qualities of all the devotees, even though he's got so many devotee friends, brothers and sisters. He always wants more because they've all had something. All the devotees here have got all their qualities. Like Meena, she's got a wonderful sense of humour. It's very, very dry but very funny. Janaki, she's sincere, really sincere when she gives them witness testimony. It's really from the heart. It's like, wow, it just shuts me up. And I'm like, wow.
I love how she loves
She's really sincere,
how
isn't
she
it?
loves all the devotees and how she watches all the classes. And
Still to this day, Janaki's watching all the classes.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And Mary, what a fighter, continuing, just hanging on in there, and being real, just keeping on in there through so many years, and so sweet with all the devotees, isn't she? She's always concerned with them. And there's Aman, there's Aman, he's a lovely devotee. He's cares for all the devotees as well. He's always engaged in service.
Front line.
Yeah. I can't recognise him. Or Christiana.
That's Christina. And
I
that's
don't know who that is there.
I think that's Cole.
Oh, Cole.
I'm not
I
sure.
think it might be.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but that's the life's rich tapestry comes also to realisation there that we're all individual qualities and those in association. And it's Guru, isn't it? Guru is our relationship developing with Shiva, Chaitanya, Krishna, Jesus, Lord cherished deities, isn't it? How we interact with Guru, and the family, you know. So nice, what a wonderful family. I'm so happy to see Janiki's class today, a little bit of it. Taking these pure devotees with me, the influence of Yoga Maya will inspire the gopis. I read that. Pure attachment will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties. Destiny will bring us together and sometimes separate us. That's really deep, isn't it? It's like, because you said the other day, didn't you, Didi, that about the family coming from the spiritual world, you know.
Bringing us together.
Yeah.
It took us apart.
It was part.
And then brought us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, there's some. I showed me Guru Maharaj the other day. All the little, you see the little links, how we all came to be in association, but it's so amazing how we all came into association with Guru Maharaj. And I'll never forget Karuna. You know, so one day it was milking the farm. It's dark, cold, and all the rest of it, and just have a listen to this Guru. We never stopped listening ever since. We never ever stopped listening. Just walking around with our headphones, shoveling cow shite. Yeah. And one time we were talking, you've heard this, but I've got to share it again. You know, one time we had this conversation just directly through the SMS, you know. Guru Maharaj was just looking at us. Karuna said, "We're tired, go to bed now, Guru Maharaj." And he just said, "Yeah, I'm really tired too. We'll call it a night." It was just like, shh. Right, okay. I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favour all the devotees. Amazing, isn't it? That this unique relationship Krishna has with all the devotees are also dear to him, and you know, the trees and every, you know, the flowers and every monkey and gopa, gopi in Vrindavana, Krishna has an intimate relationship with and can expand and whatnot. Then by hearing about the pure love of the residents of Raja, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love, abandoning all rituals of religiosity and fruitive activity. Yahoo! Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Oh my God, when you hear the pastimes of Guru Maharaj, you just want to engage in service to Guru Maharaj and the devotees. It's so overwhelming, it's so effulgent, isn't it? It's just like, whoa.
It's so real.
It's real, yeah, real.
It's so real.
Real.
And it's for our eternal path. It's amazing, yeah, because it's real. And it's so alive when we do that.
Likewise, you can be real as well, even if we swear and shout at each other and cuss and this, and you know, it's like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, isn't it? Although in a different context, you know, they're warring, but no, I'm thinking of it now, I'll shut up. No,
I do that a lot.
No, I won't even go there. I won't even go there. Here, the use of the verb bhavet, which is in the imperative mood, tells us that this certainly must be done. Non-compliance would be abandonment of duty. Just as he desires are the fundamental reason for Krishna's appearance, whereas destroying the demons is only an incidental necessity, so for Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, promulgating the Dharma of the age is incidental. When the Lord desired to appear for another reason, the time for promulgating the religion of the age also arose. Thus, with two intentions, the Lord appeared with his devotees and tasted the nectar of prema with the congregation of chanting the holy name. That's like what we do every day, isn't it? Wow, 20 people, my God, 21, my gosh. Thus he spread Kirtana even among the untouchables. He touched them with his transcendental body, even the untouchables. He wove a wreath of the holy name and prema, with which he garlanded the entire material world. And I've still been meditating on Advaita Charya. We shared on it recently, Guru Maharaj, in class from 2 days ago. I can't stop meditating on Advaita Charya by the Ganga. You know, that beautiful, there's beautiful paintings of that and that pastime. I love it. You know, calling out for Gauranga, Krishna to come. It's like what we're doing every day. In this way, assuming the sentiment of devotee, he preached devotional service while practicing it himself. And Guru Maharaj shared that the other day. You know, he had a guru to show. He's showing us. Had a guru. Who was? Someone know, Madhu know, or anyway, he had a guru, didn't he? To show the path. You know.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a guru to show the path. He preached devotional service while practicing it himself. Oh, he practiced. Oh, I'm all over the place. Do you want to read?
Okay.
I don't know. A bit further on. Oh yeah, so I read that one there. So that one, that 42.
Four kinds of devotees are the replicas of the four kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent, and thus in the mood he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna. But if we compare the sentiments in an impartial mood, we find that conjugal sentiment is superior to all the others in sweetness. Increasing love is experienced in various tastes, one above another, but that love which has the highest taste in the gradual succession of desire manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Increasing love is experienced in various tastes, one above another, but that love which has the highest taste in the gradual succession of desire manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Therefore, I call it Madhurya Ras. It has two further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. There is a great increase of mellows in the unwedded conjugal mood. There is a great increase of mellows in the unwedded conjugal mood. Such love is founded nowhere but in Vraj. Such love is found nowhere but in Vraj. That's why the gopis loved him so much. This mood is unbounded in the damsels of Vraj, but among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of love. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow colour. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. Lord Chaitanya desires to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow colour. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace to accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone please listen. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest it in full meaning, full surround colour, full surround sound and colour. I have to stop my voice.
Yeah, same.
And I'm just gonna read these. Madhu.
We read this one.
You read that one from Madhu?
Oh no, did I not? I didn't read that one.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Prajati. I don't know if I said that right.
This inability to see. Oh, we did read this, so we've got the mood of Radha. That was my niece. That was so in the
Okay.
on the Zoom. Taking a walk past. Nutcase. Aha, Lavender. Oh, Amu Sen is just about to write that Maharaj just mentioned Lord Chaitanya. And it was the same that you were saying. Sometimes that happens, doesn't it? You similarly that happens all the time. I think of some pastime, then Guru Maharaj shares it, and I think all the devotees experience that. It's amazing. Isn't it? Reading is absolutely precious. Yeah, it's the reading and the tasting, isn't it? It's great. Especially we went last 40 minutes, still here.
I tell you what's amazing when you go and read and it's relevant to your situation.
Yeah.
And it's always like that.
Yeah, nice. And I also had a little FaceTime with Tom.
Oh yeah, he did a video.
Did a video, Karuna's in contact them, that's great. And Karuna's meeting devotees out there. Cyberspace, thank you. Using the internet was connect, creative.
How come you lot didn't go on Zoom, guys?
Cora Howley goes through these comments later and makes them have to work hard to respond to our comments if there's so much on the page. I know.
I
Okay.
should say, Guru Hari does go through these comments later.
By the
Makes
time
him
he
have
gets the
to work
comments,
harder to respond to our comments if there is so many.
there's always so many.
Okay. See ya. You're about
I
to
don't know
end.
why someone's payment angry.
Oh,
I
so,
don't know.
Ahmed, what's that? Oh. I thought that came out of his bum now.
That's Tom playing baseball.
Have you read that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Oh, there's loads.
Oh yeah, we've read them.
A Deepak, okay. There you go.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Guru Hari Das. Jai.
Guru Angaranga.